This is the Keep It Real Talk with Kenyo Irvin.
Just keep it real.
Thank you all for tuning in. This is the Keep It Real Talk podcast with your host, Kenyo Irvin. First, let me just let you know that one thing is this, that, man, some people are just scared to death right about now. If you haven't heard in the news, there have been 10 pipe bombs been mailed out to people who are going against Trump right about now. Let me tell y'all this, man. It's a big fear in America right now. It's really under a terrorist attack. Nobody seems to care about it. Nobody really seems to care about it. Even the guy in the White House just going, oh, well, something that happened, but it's the Democrats' fault. It's the media's fault. They brought it against themselves. How dumb do you sound right now? To me, you sound like a man that's scared of the truth. The truth will hit you in the face, but we haven't known Donald Trump to tell the truth. We all know that. He might tell the truth on one thing, that yeah, he has so many kids, but he might have paid off some women, so he might have other kids around here floating around somewhere too. But y'all, let me just let you know this, man. Fear is something that you have to just look in the face and run from. Or sometimes you have to stand up to it and just tell fear just to go somewhere. But here it is. I saw something. I know some people saw this too. There is something right now that's called WYT Fear. WYT Fear. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take a listen to this clip that I found from Niecy Nash's Twitter page talking about WYT Fear.
You're scared. You're white. Calling 911 on your black or brown neighbors just isn't what it used to be. Hi, I'm Niecy Nash, actress, inventor, and advocate for not calling 911 on black people for no goddamn reason. Call it when black people are having a barbecue, mowing the lawn, golfing, shopping, and so much more.
1-844-WHITE Fear is a real number. Call today.
Okay, so first, let me let y'all know. Yes, that is a real number. Call it if you're scared. But there's so many things right now. People are so scared of black folk right now till it's unreal. They're scared because we walking in the store. But this has been going on for years. Think about it. Every time you go into the store, you go shopping, they don't follow some white guy. They follow you around like you the one stealing something. You could be in Best Buy getting ready to buy a computer, and guess what? They following you like you stealing something. You know, your kids could be out there selling Girl Scout cookies, somebody calling the cops on you. There's a case here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where a guy was volunteering at a polling place where he was called the N-word by some white people who just showed up. The police know about it. But here's the sad thing. The guy had a gun on him. So the guy saw the gun. He started taking pictures of them going, okay, these guys are harassing me. He calls the cops on these people. But come to find out, the police then slapped this guy on the wrist because he had a BB gun. Not a real gun, but a BB gun. Remember, Tamir Rice had a little small toy gun and he got shot and killed. Only being 12 years old. So you're telling me here this guy's out here, this black guy's fearing for his life because somebody has a gun and he's just volunteering doing his civil duties. But this cat just shows up, start calling them names, start calling him the N-word, threatening him. He calls the cops, the guy gets slapped on the wrist. See, to me, that's a secondary fear. What I mean by secondary fear, here it is. You show up with a fake gun, you scream or holler at somebody, then the cops get you and you go, oh, wait a minute, hold up, no. Role reversals. He threatened me. I feel unsafe. I feel like my life is threatened. He's just trying to get people to get up and go out and vote. Let me tell you this, man. If y'all don't get up and go out and vote, stuff like this is still going to be happening. See, because the guy in the White House is giving people the approval to say, okay, this is the best thing to go do. Go out and just scream and holler all you want. He's saying he's a narcissist. He's a nationalist. Y'all, the guy really was elected as the president of the United States, but he's running around looking like a fool. Letting people just set up pipe bombs and send them to people who are going against him. See, to me, that's called fear. And it's really a white fear. Because anybody who's not white, like Donald Trump is, or somebody who's screaming, oh, I'm like Donald Trump, I can do what I want. I'm the person. He's our leader. He's showing us doing this. Donald Trump is the best person in the world doing this. Dude, you're scared. It's fear. You fear the good change. You're scared because things are changing for the better. But you know, it's been so many years that so many people have been realizing this one thing. White folk are scared of change. They're scared to see a black folk doing something good. Okay, hold up. Let me rephrase this again for some of y'all. Now, I just said white folk are scared of fear. Let me just say this. It's not all white folk. You got some white people who want to see other people outside of their race do good. But let me just say this. The white people who are scared are the ones who are scared. They're living in the fear to seeing somebody that's a different color of them. They're scared to see them people grow. See, I know some people who are scared right now because, one, they don't want to see any type of black people grow in the same business that they're in. See, but they'll look at you and go, well, I'm a direct at a TV station. I'm sorry, I can't direct. You know, you can't direct because you're not the same color as me. Oh, you can't work this social media account because you're not the same color as me. Oh, no, you can't run audio because, you know, you're the same color as me. Or you can't drive a nice luxury car because you're not the same color as me. See, but some people are failing to realize this. A man who is scared of history. See, but we learned back in school about his history. We learned how it was okay for us to learn what was good of his history, to teach and to say, okay, well, black folk wasn't this good, so let's put a scare into him. Let's tell him he's not able to read. He's not able to grow a business. See, but our history tells us that our black men and women were kings and queens. Our history tells us that Martin Luther King was a guy who stood up for equal rights. Malcolm X was a guy who had his own vision, but he stood up for what's right. I know somebody go, let me, you bring in Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in this? Yeah. See, but his history would tell you that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X never got along. They never did hate each other. See, but our history would tell you that things like this, like two strong people like that of the same race, they get along. They had different views, but they got along. They understood their views, but they understood this is your view, this is my view. But we also can work together to get this one view out in one area. See, but you also have to realize this too. If you haven't seen this week on the news that Megyn Kelly was said, okay, when she was growing up, it was okay for her to put on a black face, you know, for Halloween, because somebody else who was the housewives of New York or something like that. One of them ladies. I don't pay attention to any of her shows. Megyn Kelly's, her ratings are so bad right now. I know I'm sounding like Trump. The ratings are bad. Just terrible. Just really terrible. But Megyn Kelly said that it was okay for her when she was growing up to put on a black face. You have to realize, no, it wasn't okay. You're talking about something racial, but you have nobody black on your show to talk about this. But you think it's okay. No, it's not okay, Megyn. You got to rethink it. Megyn now is not on her show anymore. They done told her, nope, she got to be off. But they tell you right there. His history will tell you white folk putting on black faces was okay. Our history will tell you it's not okay. You don't see us dressing up with peach lips and running around with peach faces all the time. It's not okay. It's really not okay for any type of race to be doing anything stupid like that. See, but also here's something crazy too. Now, when I say you have to go out and vote, you can't be scared. You can't live in fear. You can't just have people tell you about his history instead of learning your history. There's a lady in Georgia who's running for governor, first black governor in Georgia. To me, it's 2018, about to be 2019. You telling me we still having cases where we still going the first black person to do something? History should have been changed. Our history says we are good enough to do it. But again, his history tells you that black folk are not good to do a job like this. They're not good enough to be governors. They're not good to be presidents. They're not good to be a CEO of a company unless it's dealing with sports. But then sometimes you got to look at it in sports. His history will tell you Michael Jordan is not a good sports guy, not a good sports owner, or not good CEO of Jordan Empire. But look how many people are right now running around with Jordans on their shoes. The man did something good to get this billions of dollars. But here's a small clip. I'm going to play this clip for y'all. Right now in Florida, there's a gentleman named Andrew Gillum who kind of set the record straight for somebody who's been spewing hate on him, saying, okay, well, he's not doing this. He's not great for y'all. But this guy has basically been saying racist things about him. Take a listen to this one small clip that I found on Andrew Gilliam Facebook page, on his Twitter's page, dealing with the Florida gubernatorial race.
Well, let me first say, my grandmother used to say a hit dog will holler, and it hollered through this room. Mr. DeSantis has spoken. Hey, first of all, he's got neo-Nazis helping him out in this state. He has spoken at racist conferences. He's accepted a contribution and would not return it from someone who referred to the former president of the United States as a Muslim, Nigger. When asked to return that money, he said no. He's using that money to now fund negative ads. Now, I'm not calling Mr. DeSantis a racist. I'm simply saying the racists believe he's a racist.
Now, that'll let you know something right there. Hold up. See, this man saying this guy's was being funded by people who called President Obama the Nigger. I tell you, man, I was about to mess the spelling up on it because I forgot how to spell a darn thing because I never really say the word like that. But you telling me this guy's being funded by somebody who's called the President Obama a Muslim, Nigger. But this Santos guy is upset because his campaign is basically having Andrew Gilliam investigated by the FBI because somebody bought some Hamilton tickets for him to go see that play that his brother gave him the tickets for, that somebody else had paid for those tickets. But Andrew Gilliam did come out and say that, yeah, I should have took better responsibility. I should have did more research on this. But you telling me you upset because of that? You want to cause this man his career? You trying to tell me you having this man investigated by the FBI trying to ruin his career? See, but y'all, that's fear. See, but Andrew Gilliam basically shut him down, just stating that, one, he didn't call him a racist. He's saying the people that are supporting this guy Santos is calling him a racist. Let me tell you, if you haven't seen this video, go on Andrew Gilliam's Twitter page, and you can see the reaction of the other candidate, Santos. I forgot his first name, but Santos, that's his last name. You can see the reaction on his face is like, women, what? To me, seeing people like that who living in fear, scared of something that's actually good for change, and seeing that they try not to be, seeing people like that who want to be like Donald Trump, who wants to get away with every little thing that they can get away with, the look on that man's face is priceless. Let me tell you, I saw somebody's face yesterday that was priceless because they told me I was not able to do something, but that ties back into what I said earlier. His history tells us that we're not good enough to do anything. See, but they also tell you his history tells young black people who are out there trying to sell lemonade, trying to sell water, trying to go to a Disney trip, or just out there barbecuing, having a good time in the neighborhood. It tells you his history tells us that we can't do those type of things. Man, but let me tell you something here. Man, you going to a good old black barbecue, man, you gonna have a good time. You go eat good for one, and you gonna have fun dancing around and enjoying yourself. It's one of the good events to just go to. But y'all, man, it's something that some people are just scared of. You can't be scared right now. Let me tell you, fear is something that you have to run towards and slap it in the face. They got some people out here who are scared to slap fear in the face. But again, it's a darn shame really for us as black folks. We have to make a video like Niecy Nash made. Nowadays, it's 2018 going into 2019. It's sad that as us as African Americans, we still have to sit there and say that we're a better race and we can live up to something better. But it's sad that we have to sit here and go through this type of stuff. People, let me let you know this one thing here. If you're not ready to grow up and you still living in fear, it's all on you. Because fear is really nothing to be scared of. But if you're scared and you're living in fear and you don't know how to act, well, join the Donald Trump fan page club. You can find it on Twitter. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But let me let you know, fear right now is the same man who's trying to be famous, sending out pipe bombs to the people who are former government officials, who was under the Obama administration, who was also under the Clinton administration. Sending a pipe bomb to a place like CNN where one guy doesn't even work at. You're trying to be famous, and you're not about to be famous on my podcast here. But y'all, this is the Keep It Real Talk podcast. You can find me on Spreaker.com under Kenyo Irvin. You can also find me and listen to my podcast on KenyoIrvinMedia.com/podcast. But y'all, stop living in fear. Go out there and make a change. Because ain't nobody holding me down. Because haters love me because I'm awesome. I'm getting up out of here. One love.